Coming up on Lindenwood News, what voters need to know about the upcoming municipal election in St. Charles County.
Plus, after that, we interviewed a former paramedic to learn about what goes on call.
And the Butler Library has begun renovations for the Revival campaign. We got exclusive access to go inside and see the space before reconstruction begins.
Those stories and more coming up on Lindenwood News. Hello and welcome to Lindenwood News. I'm Nicole Schaefer.
And I'm Kay Copeland. The April 7th municipal election is approaching, and more than 300,000 St. Charles County voters will see local issues on the ballot when they head to the polls. At the top of the ballot is Prop EMS, which would fund the county ambulance district through a 1% sales tax. Other propositions include Prop Fire, proposing a similar 1% sales tax for the fire district, and Prop RT, which aims to freeze residential property taxes for eligible homeowners. For voters who want to cast their ballot early, no excuse absentee voting open March 24th. This year also includes extended hours and new early voting locations in Lake St. Louis and St. Charles. To find your polling place or hours of operation, visit the St. Charles County Election Authority website. The deadline to register to vote was March 11th, and an important note for out-of-state students, you are eligible to vote in either your home state or where you attend college, but you cannot register in both places.
EMTs are an important part of our communities, responding to calls for life-saving services carrying people from home to hospital. Holly Welch will spend 3 decades answering the call, seeing the best and worst of emergency management. She opened up about her time as an EMT and why they matter.
Yes, we drive ambulances, but the biggest thing we do is patient care. A lot of people think we always have big, bad emergencies all the time, and then the big, high acuity, true emergency, like true big emergencies are the smaller percentage of what we do.
Not only this, but we also learned what her favorite part of the job was.
Cliche, I loved taking care of patients. I loved getting to know, we had, the patients that we run on quite often. I got to know a lot of them. We as a district, some of us attended funerals with people that we had gotten to know that we were there for throughout their illnesses. Tough, fun job. I loved it.
Whether you have personally been helped by an EMT or admire them from on screen, these people are truly lifelines for care and health.
Last Saturday, hundreds of protesters lined the streets of St. Charles to participate in the nationwide No Kings protest. Many attendees claim they were motivated by recent political developments. Throughout the afternoon, protesters waved signs and chanted messages about concern for democracy and political power. Many emphasized concerns with federal policies, executive power, and recent issues with immigration and ICE presence. The protest was monitored by local law enforcement, but organizers claimed the event remained peaceful. We spoke with some protesters to get their perspective on the matter.
I feel that it's necessary for every one of us to do our part to uphold the Constitution.
The No Kings movement has gained traction in cities across the country, calling for greater accountability. The protests are not a one-time event. They happen nearly every weekend as supporters push to keep attention on their message.
Earlier this week, the American University of Beirut moved classes online following the Iranian Revolution Guard's threat to U.S. universities in the region. An alleged threat was made on Sunday following ongoing conflict between Iran and the United States, causing classes and exams to be carried out remotely. The threat was relating to targeting U.S. universities in the Middle East. The American University of Beirut is located in the heart of Beirut and is one of the most prominent U.S. institutions in the region. Students and staff were advised to stay away from campus until the threat was cleared. At this time, the university is claiming there is no evidence of a direct threat, but out of an abundance of caution, they study remotely on Monday and Tuesday of this week.
Lindenwood's Campus Activities Board partnered with the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention this weekend to host an Out of the Darkness walk to raise awareness about the importance of mental health. Photographer Chase Cuddy captured stories about how suicide and suicidal thoughts impact the community.
1, 2, The Out of the Darkness Walk is offered by the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention hosts these walks so we can come together as a community just to support wellness, mental wellness, but also support those people who have thought about committing suicide and taking their life by suicide, and people who have taken their life by suicide. My brother was 31. He took his life. He was an undercover drug enforcement agent here in St. Louis. He was physically hit by cars, multiple cars, battering rams. I mean, when you do that type of undercover job, and it just took a toll on his feet of all things, not being able to stand because it was so painful. The doctor called and said, "You're going into a wheelchair. There's nothing we can do." And then Gracie said, "I'll help you." And then Gracie said, "I have this amazing..."
I'm here today to support myself because I am a victim of suicidal thoughts. Thankfully, I've never harmed myself, but I have had significant thoughts about it. I just want people to know that they are not alone, that if you are struggling with mental health, please go and get the help that you need. It took me a long time to realize that. But now that I'm here, I feel like I can talk to the people that I need to and get the resources. So no one is ever alone.
If you or anyone you know is struggling with mental health, there are resources available. First is the Student Resource and Counseling Center, open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the 3rd floor of Evans Commons. Outside of those hours, students can call 833-646-1526 for mental health crises. For immediate help, 988 is the Suicide Crisis Lifeline. Never hesitate to reach out if you are struggling.
Lindenwood University will begin a search for a new women's head basketball coach after it was announced yesterday that former head coach Amy Egan will be departing Lindenwood for the University of New Mexico after 3 seasons with the Lions. Egan departs St. Charles after manning the helm for 3 seasons that included making back-to-back appearances in the Ohio Valley Conference Championship game last season. Egan guided the Lions to the best season in not only the Division I era, but the entirety of Lindenwood's NCAA history, going 25-8 and claiming a share of the regular season OVC championship for the first time in program history. Egan leaves after compiling a 48-19 record during her tenure and also produced 6 all-conference selections. She was selected as the 2024-2025 OVC Coach of the Year after guiding Lindenwood to the 3rd best win improvement in all of Division I basketball. In a press release from the university, Vice President of Intercollegiate Athletics Jason Coomer said, quote, "We are grateful for everything Coach Egan has brought to this program. Under her leadership, Lindenwood women's basketball has transformed into a consistent conference championship contender. As she moves forward to pursue a new opportunity, we wish her nothing but the best." Coomer also stated the university will begin an immediate search for a new head coach and that the expectation is simple in keeping the program headed forward with dedicated student athletes winning on and off the court.
In March, Lindenwood hosted the U.S. Soccer Open Cup, where an alumni made an appearance. Jermaine Mentor graduated last year and is now playing for BOHFS in St. Louis. Photographer Brendan Burns spoke with Jermaine about his journey from college to semi-pro.
So, of course, every young boy's dream, I was 17 when I first came over, was to go into that professional level. Lindenwood prepared me really well. They developed me and trained me so that I would be ready for the next step. I'm now at Buff St. Louis.
A super human being, lovely to be around, very polite, great work ethic, player who constantly got better. He was able to take feedback. He was able to change his game, evolve, and during his time here, he got better and better. So he was one of my favorite guys to coach because he was very receptive to improvement and just very well received in the locker room.
Jermaine is great. He understands the game really well, reads the game well. Even though he may not be the most athletic, he never gets caught wrong-footed. Just reads the game really well, great leader, communicates to the guys around him, and just fits in with all the guys on the team.
I do have my own brand. That's about it. I spoke about it last year as well. It's called Basera. And I am a coach as well. It's Agility St. Louis. It's just in St. Charles. So I help younger kids develop the skills through using technology. Well, obviously it's a great opportunity to play against a professional team. I know me and all the guys in the team, we are ready. We'll give our 100%. They could be in the USL League One, but at the end of the day, we don't look at it like that. We look at us, they're the same as us. So we're gonna go in there, give everything we have, and yeah, just work as a team at the end of the day.
BOHFS starts their 2026 season on May 3rd at the Creve Coeur Soccer Complex and will play in several matches across the St. Louis area through July.
Last Thursday was opening day for the St. Louis Cardinals, one of the city's biggest traditions. Busch Stadium was packed with energy, fans ready for a fresh start, and the Cardinals delivered with a win to open the season.
Ground ball, base hit, one-run scores, here comes Walker, here comes the throw, Cardinals win it!
The Cardinals opened the season with a strong 9-7 win over the Tampa Bay Rays. The win at Busch Stadium also carried into the weekend, with the Cardinals taking another victory 6-5 before dropping the final game against the Tampa Bay Rays series 11-7. The momentum continued into their matchup against the New York Mets, where the Cardinals fell 4-2, but bounced back with a shutout win 3-0, showing resilience early in the season. As the series continues, the next matchup is against the Mets today at Busch Stadium, where the Cardinals will look to keep it going. So we hope you're wearing red because baseball season is officially back.
Butler Library has been a key part of Lindenwood's history, but the building has been closed since 2016. Last month, the university started renovations to transform the building into an event and gathering space for the Lindenwood and St. Charles communities. Our photographer Riley Kelly got an exclusive look inside the building and spoke with the chair of the revival committee to learn more.
This was the heart of the campus. It was one of the most iconic buildings on campus, and it was a place where campus life happened. For nearly a century, Butler Library stood at the heart of campus, and it was named for Margaret Butler. So this Tudor Gothic masterpiece represents the best of our heritage. Butler Library has been awaiting its next chapter since 2016. Butler Library was late nights, it was cramming for finals, it was finding a comfy spot just to sit and think, to study. The campaign will actually transform this beloved landmark, which was built in 1929, into a vibrant community. The Tudor Gothic architecture, original chandeliers, and historical details will be preserved and restored. The renovation honors the building's heritage while adding modern amenities. Construction will begin in 2026, so the summer of this year. The grand reopening is scheduled for 2027, and then our centennial celebration will be in 2029. So we will have elegant event hall, which is where we are now. So a professional catering kitchen, a bridal suite, and then some student gathering spaces, which is collaboration spaces, classrooms, coffee shops, and an innovation lab. We are proud of this campus, and we're excited for this transformation.
That's it for this edition of Lindenwood News.
Thanks for joining us.